There are moments in automotive history when a brand doesn't just launch a new vehicle, it launches a declaration. The 2026 Jeep Recon is exactly that, a bold electric-powered statement that says legendary off-road capability and a zero-emission future do not have to be strangers. This is the first fully electric SUV in the world to earn the coveted trail-rated badge, and it arrives with 650 horsepower, removable doors, and a purpose-built sole that could only wear that 7-slot grille. Whether you're a lifelong Jeep loyalist eyeing the future with curiosity, or a new generation adventurer who refuses to choose between the planet and the trail, the Recon was built with you in mind. Priced from $65,000 and heading to dealerships in early 2026, this machine is more than a car. It's a turning point. Exterior design. From the very first glance, the 2026 Jeep Recon makes its intentions crystal clear. This is not a softened-up lifestyle crossover compromise masquerading as a trail truck. The body is upright, wide-shouldered, and unapologetically boxy, channeling the spirit of the Wrangler while carving its own identity through smoother surfaces and a more aerodynamically considered form. The Recon's silhouette stands 9 inches taller than the Jeep Wagoneer S, and at 193.3 inches bumper to bumper, it commands space on any road or trail. Sculpted front fenders, heavy body cladding, raised exterior door hinges, all of it signals intent. This is a machine designed for the mud, the rock, the river crossing, and the morning commute equally. For its launch color, Hydro Blue, a rich, vivid electric blue, suits the Recon's fearless personality perfectly, and it's available alongside 8 other options, including Diamond Black, Red Hot, and Bright White. Front design. Step up and face the front of the 2026 Jeep Recon, and you are confronted with one of the most assertive fascias in the electric SUV world. The iconic 7-slot Jeep grille is present and accounted for, but electrified this time, literally, with illuminated rings around each slot that glow at night with a presence both modern and unmistakably Jeep. Flanking the grille are U-shaped LED daytime running lights that frame the face with a distinctive signature, while full LED square headlamps sit below them with the kind of sharp-eyed authority that leaves no doubt this SUV means business. The entire front end reads like a tribute to Jeep's trail heritage, reimagined for the electric age, familiar enough to reassure loyal fans, fresh enough to attract a new generation entirely. Rear design. Walk around to the rear of the 2026 Jeep Recon, and the design story continues with the same confident energy. Wrangler-inspired LED tail lamps wrap the corners with a signature light graphic that feels deliberately nostalgic while remaining thoroughly contemporary, creating an evening presence that is instantly recognizable across a parking lot. Below them sits the swing gate, a feature increasingly rare in modern SUVs, and something that Jeep has preserved with great intent here. Mounted to it is a full-size spare tire carrier, a segment-exclusive feature that signals the Recon's genuine commitment to go-anywhere capability, rather than mere visual posturing. The Moab trim adds gloss black rear fascias and wheel flares that give the tail a wider, more aggressive stance. And the topographically etched Jeep badging adds a layer of character that distinguishes this trim from anything else in the lineup. It is a rear view that tells you exactly what this vehicle is and exactly where it intends to go. Side profile. Viewed from the side, the 2026 Jeep Recon reveals its proportions with a clarity that photographs struggle to fully capture. This is a tall, upright machine that wears its height proudly rather than trying to hide it beneath raked roof lines or sloping bodywork. The wheel arches are exaggerated and bold, housing 33-inch all-terrain tires on the Moab trim that fill the arches with an authority that simply can't be faked. Exposed door hinges reference Jeep's removable door heritage directly and give the side profile a purposeful, almost industrial texture, while available side rock rails on the Moab trim run below the sill, protecting the underbody and reinforcing the SUV's identity as a true off-road tool. A standard dual-pane sunroof sits flush in the roof, with the available Sky One-Touch Power Top as a headline option for those who want the full open-air experience. The result is a side view that balances rugged strength with a surprising degree of visual discipline. Nothing here is gratuitous. Build and structure. The 2026 Jeep Recon is built on the Stellantis STLA Large platform, a purpose-designed electric architecture that underpins everything from the Wagoneer S to the Dodge Charger EV, but is tuned here with very specific off-road demands in mind. The suspension setup is a short, long-arm layout up front, paired with an integral link system at the rear, a configuration that delivers genuinely independent suspension travel and a much smoother on-road ride than a traditional solid-axle Wrangler, while still providing the travel and articulation needed for serious trail use. The 100 kilowatt-hour 400-volt battery pack is fully sealed and waterproof, protected beneath the vehicle by a suite of high-strength steel underbody shields that guard it against rocks, stumps, and water crossings. The Moab trim's 33-inch all-terrain tires and independent suspension together achieve 9.4 inches of ground clearance, not Wrangler levels, but genuinely capable numbers for an independent suspension electric SUV that weighs in at 6,112 pounds. Interior. Open the door or remove it entirely if you prefer, and the cabin of the 2026 Jeep Recon greets you with a design philosophy that lands somewhere between a modern luxury SUV and a purpose-built expedition vehicle. The horizontal dashboard layout is clean and symmetrical, anchored on the passenger side by a bold, sculpted grab handle that doubles as a visual focal point and a practical trail companion for passengers bracing through rough terrain. Surfaces throughout the cabin use scuff-resistant, vortex-textured materials that are easy to wipe down after muddy adventures, while the Moab trim introduces the exclusive Joshua Tree tan interior color, a warm, earthy hue that pairs beautifully with the rugged environment this vehicle was built for. Sustainable materials appear throughout the seat upholstery and door panel surfaces, giving the Recon an environmental conscience to match its electric powertrain. Modular door panels include removable elastic straps and interchangeable cargo solutions, a clever system that turns the doors into storage platforms when they're still attached and adapts when they're not. The dashboard of the 2026 Jeep Recon is one of the most thoughtfully composed in the electric off-road space, striking a careful balance between driver focus and trail-ready functionality without ever looking like a conventional family SUV. The layout is unmistakably horizontal, keeping your eyes level and giving the cockpit an expansive, commanding feel from behind the square format steering wheel, a non-traditional shape that Jeep says improves visibility during low-speed trail maneuvering, though you will undoubtedly take some adjustment during urban parking. Directly ahead of the driver sits a 12.3-inch digital instrument cluster that presents speed, range, navigation, and drive mode information with clean clarity, while the center stack rises confidently to meet the oversized 14.5-inch touchscreen, the largest ever installed in a Jeep vehicle. A modular accessory rail runs along the top of the instrument panel, allowing drivers to mount cameras, a secondary navigation device, or Jeep's famously beloved duck holder, because some traditions should never die. At the heart of the 2026 Jeep Recon's connected experience sits Uconnect 5, Jeep's most capable infotainment platform to date, presented here through that expansive 14.5-inch touchscreen that dominates the center stack with a presence both impressive and intuitive. The system integrates wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, so your phone's apps, music, and navigation mirrors seamlessly onto the screen without a cable in sight, and dual wireless charging pads sit in the upper level of the two-tiered center console, so your devices stay powered whether you're navigating a city grid or a mountain trail. Jeep has integrated trail-specific navigation directly into the Uconnect system, giving off-road explorers dedicated mapping tools built for the terrain rather than the tarmac. The 11-speaker Alpine Premium audio system, complete with a dedicated subwoofer, is engineered with speakers located under the seats rather than on the doors, a deliberate design decision that ensures your music sounds great even when the doors are removed and the open sky is your roof. Seats and space. The 2026 Jeep Recon is configured as a 5-seat SUV, and the cabin dimensions reflect a vehicle that was built to carry people and gear in genuine comfort across genuine distances. The front seats offer supportive bolstering and are upholstered in synthetic capri leatherette on the Moab trim, a durable, trail-wipe-friendly material that looks refined enough for daily driving while surviving whatever the weekend throws at it. The rear bench is generously proportioned for 2 adults and a center passenger, and it folds flat in a 60-40 split configuration to unlock a load floor that offers up to 65.9 cubic feet of maximum cargo volume, more than enough for bikes, camping gear, overlanding equipment, or the kind of weekly shop that genuinely requires an SUV. Behind the front seats with the rear bench in place, cargo volume measures 30.3 cubic feet, which is a practical, usable number for everyday life. Jeep has also fitted a front trunk measuring 3.0 cubic feet, sized, according to Jeep, to accommodate a carry-on suitcase, a small but welcome bonus for the urban user. Engine and powertrain. The 2026 Jeep Recon is powered by a dual-motor, all-wheel drive electric powertrain consisting of 2 Stellantis-designed electric drive modules, one for the front axle and one for the rear, each rated at 250 kilowatts. Combined, they produce a confirmed 650 horsepower and 620 pound-feet of torque, figures that place the Recon firmly above the old V8-powered Wrangler 392's 470 horsepower output and squarely in performance SUV territory. The system is built on a 400-volt electrical architecture, drawing from a 100 kilowatt-hour battery pack, and power delivery is through a single-speed transmission that channels all of that torque to all 4 wheels instantly and without drama. The front axle features automatic disconnects at each wheel end to optimize efficiency during normal on-road driving by defaulting to rear-wheel propulsion when full 4-wheel drive engagement isn't necessary, then seamlessly reconnecting when traction demands it. The rear differential can be locked at the flip of a dash-mounted switch, giving the driver a level of mechanical control that few electric SUVs even attempt to offer. Performance. When you press the accelerator of the 2026 Jeep Recon, the response is immediate, physical, and genuinely startling for a vehicle of its size and stature. 0 to 60 miles per hour arrives in as little as 3.6 seconds, a figure confirmed by both Jeep's official press materials and multiple independent sources, making the Recon one of the fastest accelerating SUVs under $70,000, regardless of fuel type or powertrain configuration. For context, the Rivian R1S starts at over $75,000, and the Land Rover Defender V8 crosses $120,000 to achieve comparable straight-line punch. The instant torque delivery of the electric powertrain transforms the off-road experience too, allowing the driver to modulate traction at a precision level that internal combustion simply cannot match on a technical trail. The Select Terrain system offers 5 distinct modes: Auto, Sport, Snow, Sand, and the Moab-exclusive Rock mode, each remapping throttle response, traction distribution, and stability parameters for the terrain at hand, while Select Speed Control maintains a set crawl speed so the driver can focus entirely on steering through obstacles. Steering and handling. The 2026 Jeep Recon steering setup and handling dynamics represent a genuinely interesting departure from anything the Jeep brand has offered before in the off-road space. The independent suspension, short long arm up front, and integral link at the rear means the Recon does not behave like a Wrangler on-road, and that is unambiguously a good thing. Body roll is present but controlled for a vehicle of this height and weight, and the suspension geometry is tuned to prioritize tire contact patch on uneven surfaces, which translates to a more planted, predictable feel both on the highway and mid-trail. The non-round steering wheel, while controversial in appearance, is engineered to give the driver greater visibility of the instruments and the terrain ahead during low-speed technical driving. And the electric power steering calibration reportedly feels more direct and confidence-inspiring than the Wrangler's setup. Consumer Reports notes the interior has the composure of a Grand Cherokee or Land Rover Defender, which says a great deal about how far Jeep's ride dynamics have evolved with this platform. Ride comfort. For a vehicle wearing trail-rated credentials and riding on 33-inch knobby all-terrain tires, the 2026 Jeep Recon's on-road ride comfort is a subject of considerable interest, and the early indications are genuinely encouraging. The independent suspension setup absorbs surface imperfections with far greater composure than the Wrangler's solid axle arrangement, and the STLA large platform's inherent structural rigidity, reinforced by the low-mounted battery pack, contributes a sense of solidity that upright body-on-frame off-roaders often lack. The 6,112-pound curb weight, while significant, actually works in the Recon's favor on smooth pavement by providing a planted, unhurried quality to the ride that makes long highway miles feel less fatiguing. On rough terrain, the Select Terrain System's dedicated modes recalibrate the powertrain and stability management to absorb rather than amplify surface irregularities, and the standard rough road cruise control keeps the vehicle composed on rutted dirt tracks that would unsettle lesser SUVs. The open-air experience, available with both the standard sunroof and the Sky One Touch PowerTop, adds a sensory dimension to every journey that no amount of suspension tuning can replicate. Technology and features. The 2026 Jeep Recon arrives with over 170 standard safety and security features, which is a remarkable figure for any vehicle at this price point, and speaks to Jeep's clear intention to position the Recon as a genuinely modern, technology-rich machine rather than a nostalgia act with an electric motor under the hood. The Uconnect 5 system brings over-the-air update capability, meaning the Recon's software, navigation maps, and vehicle systems can be refreshed remotely without a dealer visit, a feature that will keep the vehicle current across its ownership life. A 360-degree surround view camera gives the driver a bird's-eye view of the vehicle's surroundings during low-speed maneuvering, which proves invaluable both in tight urban parking and during technical trail navigation where precise wheel placement matters. The modular accessory rail atop the instrument panel reflects Jeep's understanding that Recon owners will want to personalize and expand their vehicle's capability, and the brand's long relationship with Mopar accessories means the aftermarket ecosystem will be rich and well supported from day one. Safety systems. The 2026 Jeep Recon's safety suite is headline-ready, with Jeep confirming over 170 standard safety and security features at launch, a count that encompasses both conventional road safety technology and trail-specific protective systems that are unique to this vehicle's mission. Confirmed standard safety features include pedestrian emergency braking, blind spot monitoring, and rough road cruise control, the last of which is a genuinely clever system that uses sensor data to detect deteriorating road surfaces and adjusts vehicle behavior accordingly before the driver even notices the change. The 360-degree surround view camera system contributes meaningfully to trail safety by giving precise, real-time awareness of rocks, drops, and obstacles near the vehicle's body and wheels, a feature that transforms confidence levels during technical off-road use. The battery pack itself is fully sealed and waterproof, with all wiring and electronics receiving additional protection, meaning the vehicle can handle river crossings and deep puddles without putting its most critical components at risk. Euro NCAP, or NHTSA crash test ratings have not yet been published at the time of the script, as the vehicle is in pre-production phase. Practicality. One of the most compelling arguments for the 2026 Jeep Recon in daily life is just how practical it is beneath all the trail-rated open-air theater. The 5-seat cabin accommodates a family or a group of adults in genuine comfort, and the cargo flexibility, from 30.3 cubic feet with seats up to 65.9 cubic feet with the rear bench folded, covers everything from grocery runs to full weekend overlanding setups without compromise. The removable doors are genuinely tool-free and accomplished in minutes, transforming the Recon's practicality calculus entirely. This is an SUV that can be a closed, weatherproof family hauler on Monday and a fully open-air experience machine on Saturday, without any specialist knowledge or equipment required. The 360-degree surround view camera system contributes meaningfully to trail safety by giving precise real-time awareness of rocks, drops, and obstacles near the vehicle's body and wheels, a feature that transforms confidence levels during technical off-road use. The 3.0 cubic foot front trunk handles the charging cable storage, laptop bags, or valuables with ease, while the two-tiered pass-through center console with its upper wireless charging shelf and lower deep storage compartment adds the kind of organizational thinking that daily users genuinely notice and appreciate. Towing capacity is rated at 3,300 pounds, sufficient for a small trailer, a pair of jet skis, or a motorcycle hauler. Charging and range. The 2026 Jeep Recon draws its energy from a 100 kilowatt-hour battery pack built on a 400-volt architecture, with an estimated range of up to 250 miles for the standard trims and 230 miles for the Moab trim, whose larger 33-inch all-terrain tires and more aggressive aero profile exact a modest range penalty, a trade-off that any serious off-road buyer will consider entirely worthwhile. DC fast charging capability allows the battery to recover from 5% to 80% in approximately 28 minutes, which makes long-distance road tripping genuinely viable when planned around the expanding public charging network. The Recon ships with a standard portable dual-level charging cord that supports both Level 1 charging at 1.3 kilowatts from a household outlet and Level 2 home charging at up to 7.6 kilowatts, which would replenish a depleted battery overnight on a standard 240-volt home charger in approximately 6.8 hours. Stellantis has confirmed plans to provide NACS adapter access for the Tesla Supercharger network in 2026, which significantly expands the charging infrastructure available to Recon owners across the United States and would address one of the most practical concerns for EV owners planning long-distance adventures. For context, the Rivian R1S with its largest battery pack offers up to 410 miles of range, so buyers prioritizing range above all else should factor that comparison into their decision. Ownership and reliability. The 2026 Jeep Recon enters a market where honest conversation about Jeep reliability is essential, and it would be a disservice to Recon buyers to avoid it. Consumer Reports has consistently noted that Jeep as a brand performs below average in reliability surveys, and with a vehicle as thoroughly new as the Recon, fresh platform, new electric architecture, new body structure, and new manufacturing setup at the Toluca assembly plant in Mexico, the sensible recommendation from multiple automotive analysts is to allow the first model year's real-world reliability data to surface before committing. That said, the Recon's STLA large platform has already been validated through the Wagoneer S and Dodge Charger EV production runs, which reduces some of the first-year model risk. Jeep's extensive dealer network across the USA is a genuine ownership advantage, providing accessible service infrastructure that a newer brand like Rivian is still building. And for a vehicle that will inevitably encounter genuine trail use, having a nearby dealer who understands both the EV hardware and the off-road hardware is worth real consideration. The 2026 Jeep Recon arrives with an extraordinary set of genuine strengths that make it one of the most compelling electric SUVs launched in recent years. 650 horsepower and a 3.6-second 0 to 60 mile-per-hour time for under $70,000 is a performance benchmark that neither the Land Rover Defender nor the Scout Traveler can match at an equivalent price. And the trail-rated certification, removable doors, and 5 select terrain modes give it a depth of off-road credibility that most electric crossovers can only pretend to possess. The open-air flexibility, the massive 14.5-inch Uconnect 5 touchscreen, the 11-speaker Alpine audio system, and the over 170 standard safety features all contribute to a package that feels genuinely premium at its $65,000 starting price. On the other side of the ledger, the Moab trim's 230-mile range is modest in comparison to the Rivian R1S's available 410-mile configuration. The 6,112-pound curb weight limits towing capacity to 3,300 pounds, less than many gas-powered rivals, and Jeep's below-average reliability track record means that first-year buyers are taking a calculated risk on a brand-new model from a brand still working to improve its quality scores. Who should buy it? The 2026 Jeep Recon is made for a very specific type of buyer, and that buyer will recognize themselves immediately upon reading this. You love the idea of the Wrangler, You want its open-air freedom and its trail credentials and its unmistakable character. But you've always wished it rode better on the highway, felt more modern inside, and didn't make you feel like you were apologizing for your fuel consumption at every dinner party. You are an outdoor enthusiast, a weekend warrior, a family adventure planner, or an overlanding dreamer who also needs to function in urban life during the week without sacrificing comfort or technology. You are interested in the Rivian R1S, but find its starting price and its calculated cool tech bro aesthetic slightly cold. You looked at the Land Rover Defender, but balked at six-figure pricing and the reliability question it carries. The Recon is your answer. It is also a compelling choice for Jeep loyalists making their first step into electrification because it never asks you to abandon what you love about the brand. It simply electrifies it. Final verdict. The 2026 Jeep Recon is not a perfect vehicle, and it does not pretend to be one. The range won't set records, the weight won't set efficiency benchmarks, and the brand's reliability history means cautious buyers should let the first model year serve as proof of concept before they sign the paperwork. But as a statement of intent, as a demonstration of what electric power can do for genuine off-road capability, and as an answer to the question of whether Jeep's soul can survive electrification intact, the Recon is a thunderous, emphatic yes. At $65,000, it delivers 650 horsepower, trail-rated off-road credentials, removable doors, a world-class infotainment system, and a visual identity so distinctly Jeep that no one will ever mistake it for anything else on the trail or in the parking lot. It outshoots the Rivian on price, outmuscles the Ford Bronco on power, and out-adventures virtually every other electric SUV under $70,000. The Recon doesn't just join the electric SUV conversation, it rewrites it on its own terms with mud on its tires.